Edward Thorndike and the law of effect. At the start of the 20th century, psychologists were trying to understand how learning really happens. One of the most important thinkers of that time was Edward Thorndike, an American psychologist born in 1874. Thorndike believed that learning didn't always happen through sudden understanding or insight. Instead, he thought learning often happened slowly, through trial and error. This idea became known as the law of effect. Thorndike developed this idea during the 1890s, while studying animal behavior. His most famous experiments were published in 1898 as part of his doctoral thesis, and later explained more fully in his book Animal Intelligence, published in 1911. To study learning, Thorndike designed a special piece of equipment called a puzzle box. A puzzle box was a wooden crate with a door that could be opened by performing a specific action, such as pulling a string, pressing a lever, or stepping on a platform. Inside the box, Thorndike placed a hungry cat. Outside the box was food. At first, the cat didn't know how to escape. It scratched, pushed, and moved around randomly. Eventually, by accident, it performed the correct action, and the door opened. The cat escaped and got the food. Thorndike then repeated the experiment many times. Something interesting happened. Each time the cat was placed back in the box, it escaped faster than before. The random behavior slowly disappeared, and the successful behavior happened more quickly. Thorndike concluded that the cat was learning through trial and error, not sudden insight. From this, he developed the law of effect, which states, behaviors followed by satisfying consequences are more likely to be repeated. Behaviors followed by uncomfortable or unpleasant consequences are less likely to be repeated. In simple terms, if something works, we tend to do it again. If it doesn't, we stop doing it. Thorndike believed that learning strengthens the connection between a stimulus, the situation, and a response, the action. These became known as stimulus-response connections. Over time, Thorndike refined his ideas. By the 1920s, he suggested that rewards were much more important for learning than punishment. Punishment, he found, didn't always weaken behavior as reliably as reward strengthened it. Thorndike's law of effect didn't just apply to animals, it applied to humans too. For example, if a student answers a question correctly and receives praise, they're more likely to participate again. If practicing a skill leads to improvement and success, the learner is motivated to keep practicing. If touching something causes pain, we quickly learn to avoid it. Thorndike's work had a huge influence on later psychologists. B.F. Skinner, who developed operant conditioning in the 1930s, built directly on Thorndike's ideas. Skinner made the law of effect more detailed and measurable, but Thorndike laid the foundation. Today, Thorndike's ideas are still used in education, training, behavior therapy, and everyday learning. They help explain how habits form and why practice and feedback are so important. At its heart, the law of effect teaches us that learning is shaped by experience and consequences. We learn by trying, failing, succeeding, and slowly strengthening the actions that lead to good outcomes. So the next time you improve at something through practice, not because you suddenly understood it, but because it worked, remember this. You're experiencing the same learning process first described by Edward Thorndike over 100 years ago, showing how simple experiences can shape behavior over time.
If you enjoyed our channel, please click subscribe.